then the time is so long between that period, then they don't really correlate what had just happened to them. The birth control pill was designed for women with hormonal levels, with normal hormone levels for the purpose of birth control, not for perimenopausal or postmenopausal women for the purpose of hormone replacement therapy. The pill should not be given to a woman long-term as hormone replacement therapy and is considered very unsafe to do so. Birth control pills have a much higher amounts of estrogen than traditional hormone replacement therapy, and using the pill as hormone replacement therapy puts a woman at higher risk for stroke, cancer, and other problems. Being on the pill can cause the woman's condition to even worsen, which would make her more susceptible to the suggestion of a DNC or a hysterectomy. Many women go on the pill and then quit because their condition becomes worse. So now, at the other end of the scale, if she's experiencing an estrogen deficiency, isn't offered hormone testing, is never offered the pill or other hormone replacement therapy, or is prescribed the pill but she refuses to take it or stops taking it, these women can be at risk for bone loss. The amount of bone can vary to how severe the estrogen deficiency is, or to how well her ovaries survived the surgery. In my case, the bone loss was massive. In extreme cases, the blood flow can be so overly compromised that the ovaries shut down. The result is the same as removing the ovaries or female castration. This is what happened to me. You'll see from the photos and the video I'll be showing in a minute the drastic changes in my ovaries over a 3-year period. My tubal surgery caused me to become surgically menopausal. My periods didn't become heavy, which is the more common pattern. Mine quickly slowed and then stopped. Still, it took some time to see a pattern that something wasn't right. I returned to the doctor 8 months after my tubal complaining of a drastic change and was told that this was normal and nothing to worry about and that it might be due to stress. I told the doctor I wasn't under stress. He told me that after a tubal, periods changed. Some got heavier, some got lighter, some stayed the same. He told me I was one of the lucky ones because mine got lighter. I had complete trust in this doctor and I believed him. I left his office feeling pretty good about myself because I was lucky, and I was still feeling good about my decision about having gone through with the tubal and went on with my personal business. Within the next year, I experienced many problems and visited or contacted not only the tubal doctor but my family doctor as well many times. Some health changes I experienced include an extended period, a prolapsed uterus, loss of libido, drying skin, and more, and was told that these things were not hormonal and that there was nothing to worry about. About 2 years after the tubal, I was back in his office complaining of still missing periods when I became angry and irate at his comment that he didn't believe me that I was missing all these periods and suggested that I wasn't keeping track of my calendar correctly. I told him that I'd been very careful to keep track and always kept track of my periods. That's when he then suggested that he run a blood test to check my levels. I wonder why he hadn't offered this before, but felt pretty good that he was going to do something about it. I asked him what he would do if this test came back. I asked him what would be done if this test came back not normal, and if I didn't get my period. And he said then he'd order a progesterone and oil shot to bring on a period, but not to worry, that he was sure the test would come back fine. A thyroid test was ordered, and I had the blood drawn that day. A few days later, I received a call that my test came back normal and that nothing was wrong and that I was perfectly healthy. By then I was experiencing almost every symptom on this list, including fuzzy logic, loss of memory, loss of balance, and cognitance, and I thought I was developing Alzheimer's. I was beginning to become afraid to drive for my forgetfulness. I was experiencing what I now know to be hormone shock. I was very sick and I was very scared. Another month went by and I called his office and spoke with the nurse. I told her that I was physically sick that I hadn't had a period in some time and wanted to come in for a progesterone and oil shot, which the doctor had suggested. I told the nurse that the doctor had just ordered me some tests and tested me for but the test came back normal, so I wasn't menopausal, and I just couldn't understand why I wasn't getting my period. She asked what test he ran for me, and I told her, and she said that those weren't the tests for menopause, that other tests should be ran. Needless to say, I had some questions for the doctor when I saw him. Yet, I was in hormone shock and not thinking entirely clearly. I asked him why he didn't order the other tests that would show meno. He told me that they were very expensive and that he didn't think that this was my problem. He went on to tell me that insurance wouldn't pay for them if he didn't run the first test first, and that test came back okay, so these tests were not necessary, and the insurance company would question the reasoning behind ordering them and probably wouldn't pay. He told me that it was standard to give a woman who misses more than 3 periods a progesterone and oil shot, which I was claiming was my case. I asked him to order the correct tests, and he said he would only if the progesterone and oil shot didn't work to bring on a period. He persuaded me to have the progesterone and oil shot, still telling me that nothing was wrong. I asked him what would happen if I didn't get my period, and he said that he would then order the expensive test, but not to worry, that the shot worked for everyone, and that I'd be getting my period soon, and that I shouldn't worry. After another month and no period, I called his office and demanded the proper tests. He couldn't say no at that point and had no choice but to order those tests. The results came back that I was definitely postmenopausal, no questions about it. My levels were extremely elevated. So the doctor had the opportunity then to prescribe me hormone replacement therapy, and even though I was now in a known state of menopause, the doctor stayed true to the post-tubal rule and prescribed me the birth control pill, telling me that I'd be on them for the rest of my life, and he didn't give me any other choices or information about any other types of hormone replacement therapy. Upon realizing that what menopause meant as far as bone loss, I requested from my family doctor, besides a referral for a new OBGYN, that a bone scan be done. And I don't have a baseline to go by because I never had a baseline before my tubal, but I'm what you call osteosapena. I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, but what it means is I'm borderline osteoporosis at age 36. Upon looking back on all this, I realized that if I had gotten a period from this progesterone and oil shot, that he would have further delayed ordering these hormone tests for me, and who knows what state or condition I'd be in now. That shot was just another cover-up. I need to explain these before and after pictures. The before picture was given to me in August of '95 when I had the tubal surgery. The doctor had given me, and I don't know why he gave me one, a photograph after my surgery, and that's my ovaries before any of the surgery took place. Okay, the other 2 pictures down below are from July of '98. I had a second lap surgery done by another surgeon, and the purpose of the second surgery was to document what happened from the first surgery. This in itself is another story that I won't go into at this time, but after this surgery I was presented with these 2 photographs. These are enlarged. And the videotape was made. I'd like to play the tape now. It shows much more detail of the damage that this doctor had done to me. So I'll start that and then I'll continue on. I don't know if you, why don't I just leave